The history of apples, from wild forests to your table. Have you ever wondered where apples come from? Before apples appeared in supermarkets and fruit bowls around the world, they had already completed a journey that lasted thousands of years. The story of apples begins in the mountains of Central Asia, in what is now Kazakhstan. Long before farming existed, wild apple trees grew in vast forests. These wild apples, known as Malacea, are believed to be the ancestors of the modern apples we eat today. Thousands of years ago, animals such as bears and horses ate these fruits and spread their seeds across the land. Later, traders and travelers along the ancient Silk Road carried apples from Central Asia to the Middle East and Europe. As apples reached new regions, they naturally crossed with local apple species, creating new varieties with different sizes, colors, and flavors. This process, combined with human cultivation, transformed the small wild apples into the delicious fruit we know today. The ancient Greeks appreciated apples not only as food but also as a symbol of beauty and knowledge. Later, the Romans played a major role in improving apple cultivation. Roman farmers developed better farming techniques, planted large orchards, and spread apple trees throughout Europe. During the Middle Ages, apples became an important crop in many European countries. Monasteries and farms carefully maintained orchards, and people used apples for eating, cooking, and making cider. In the 1600s, European settlers carried apple seeds and saplings across the Atlantic Ocean to North America. Apples quickly adapted to the new environment and became an important part of daily life. In the early days of America, apples were commonly used to make cider, and apple trees became a symbol of home and prosperity. One of the most famous figures in apple history was Johnny Appleseed, whose real name was John Chapman. He traveled across the American frontier planting apple trees and encouraging settlers to grow orchards. His efforts helped spread apple cultivation across the United States. Over time, farmers learned how to graft apple trees to produce reliable fruit with consistent taste and quality. This technique allowed famous varieties such as Red Delicious, Granny Smith, Gala, Fuji, and Honeycrisp to become popular around the world. Today, apples are grown on every continent except Antarctica. Modern orchards use advanced farming methods, irrigation systems, and careful harvesting techniques to produce millions of tons of apples every year. But despite all the technology, every apple still carries the legacy of those ancient forests in Kazakhstan, where the journey began thousands of years ago. So the next time you take a bite of an apple, remember that you are tasting a fruit with a history that spans continents, civilizations, and thousands of years. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe,